Hello again, everyone. I'm Dr. George Simon, and welcome to another edition of the New Character Matters program where we talk about what I consider to be the defining issue of our time, the character crisis that we have faced for several decades now and that affects every single aspect of our lives. Most importantly, our interpersonal relationships, our most intimate relationships, which unfortunately in our times experience far too much unnecessary trouble. It seems that we have forgotten not only the importance of character, but what it takes to instill it, to reinforce it. What core values are essential to forming it, and how we all have to cooperate to make sure that those values dominate in our society. Today, I would like to begin a series on a topic that I introduced way back in 1996 in my first book, In Sheep's Clothing, which has since then become an international phenomenon. After years of personal experience, professional experience, and case study research, I stumbled upon certain character types, best characterized by their capacity for manipulation, domination, and control in relationships. These manipulative characters are much like the proverbial wolf in sheep's clothing, looking one way on the outside, but being quite different in their overall makeup, operating on the surface in one way so as to cast a favorable impression on most folks, but also operating in a way, in reality, that can make life with them quite a nightmare. Along the way, I was able to discern the various tactics that manipulative characters use not only to positively manage the impressions others form of them, but also to get the better of you and look good while doing it. Manipulative characters of all types prefer certain tactics that help conceal their exploitative, aggressive agendas, help them maintain a positive image, but nonetheless effectively do you in. And one of the reasons that the tactics are so effective is that they generally exploit some of the best traits of decent people. And one of those characteristics is conscientiousness. The disturbed characters that I describe in all my books tend to lack conscientiousness. They tend to have underdeveloped, malformed, or even absent consciences. So they don't particularly care about what they do or who they hurt in the process. But they do care that you care because that gives them an opportunity to exploit and take advantage of you. Let's just take one of the tactics as an example: guilting or guilt tripping, as I describe it in my books, In Sheep's Clothing and Character Disturbance. If you don't have the capacity to feel guilt, if you don't really care about what you've done or how it impacts others, then someone trying to invite you to feel guilty is not going to hold any sway with you. They're not going to be able to manipulate you. You have to have a conscience and you have to care. Similarly, the tactic of shaming can't work unless the person has a capacity for shame, unless the person cares about the kind of person they are. You have to want to not only be good and look good, but do good. For a person who has none of those qualities to be able to take advantage of you, That's why the tactics work. It may be a bit of an overstretch or an overgeneralization, but to a large extent, manipulation tactics work the best on conscientious people, people who care and people who have some decency in their character. This is what manipulative characters who are a very different stripe count on. Otherwise, their tactics would not work. We're going to be talking a lot more about manipulative characters and the differences between folks with character disturbances of various types, whether they be narcissists or other disturbed characters, the differences between those folks and more decent, wholesome folks in the coming editions of the new Character Matters program. So I hope you'll tune in. Until next time, then, thanks for listening, and I'll see you again next time with another installment of the new Character Matters. Until then, I'm Dr. George Simon. Take care.